4, 3, 2, 1.
Ann, it's time for the real thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I got a little carried away with all these controls.
That's okay. Well, you've probably wondered where Police Beat starts, and maybe you've wondered where it's finished. This is the spot. We're in Channel 27 production room right now, and this is Police Beat. I'm Jeff Groves.
I'm Ann Loader, and welcome to this edition of Police Beat.
Tonight we're going to talk about kind of a hodgepodge of different things. We get a lot of questions occasionally from citizens in Fort Collins who want to know certain things about the police department, traffic issues, or other issues in general. And tonight, we're going to talk about it.
And starting with next month's show, we'll be having a regular segment of answering all your questions. We'll be providing you with a phone number and an address you can send your questions to later on in this show. Jeff, I'm sure the citizens of Fort Collins has noticed, just as I have, on some new signs around town, school area. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it has been confusing for the citizens of Fort Collins. What it actually means is that you're approaching a school area. And in this case here on Shield Street, it's the Bennett School area. Does it actually mean that it's a school zone, that you're required to slow down to 20 miles an hour, like the other flashing zone lights that actually have a speed limit of 20 posted next to the sign? No, it does not. So in other words, if you're driving along Shield Street and you come into this area and you see the sign has been activated, does it mean that you have to slow to 20? No. Can you travel at 30, which is the normal posted speed limit for Shields? Sure can. Does it mean that you shouldn't have a heightened level of caution, that you can expect more bicycle traffic, school buses, kids walking going to and from school, and that you might have to lower your speed down a little bit? That's exactly what it means. And one of the questions that I get asked frequently is about this non-alcoholic beverage that some of the manufacturers have come out with, and is it a violation to have this and be, well, under the city's open container law?
No, it's not, Jeff, and the reason it's not is because the Colorado state law classifies those certain beverages as non-alcoholic beverages. Therefore, a person can legally drive down the street drinking one of the non-alcoholic beers or walk down the sidewalk with an open container and not be cited for it. Even though these non-alcoholic beverages have a small percentage of alcohol in them, such as less than 0.5%, they are still considered non-alcoholic by Colorado state law. Jeff, a lot of people complain about traffic flow here in Fort Collins. Do you have any ideas or suggestions to them on what they could help to improve the efficiency of traffic flow?
Well, sure. One thing, and it may seem minor, but it really is important, and we're here at Draken College, as you can see behind us. One of the things that you should do while you're driving is make the proper turns, both left and right turns. In this case, what we want to do is making a right turn from the right lane as closest to the curb to the right lane as closest to the curb as possible. And when you make a left turn, you're in the left lane, and you're making a turn to the left lane. And you'll see as we go back here in a little bit, we'll show you some examples, and we'll give some grades on those examples as those cars make those turns.
Here comes a turn.
And
Bad turn.
bad turn.
Let's see how this guy does.
Hey!
All right, excellent.
Good turn. The reason for that you want to make the turn into your own lane is that allows both turns to be made at the same time. In other words, a person coming off of College can make the right turn, and a person coming off of College can make the left turn if you stay in your same lanes that you're supposed to. If you swing out like these cars are doing, then nobody wants to risk making the turn because they think they're going to get in a wreck.
Jeff, a lot of people ask me, when you're making a left-hand turn, is it legal to go pull out in the intersection and wait for traffic to make your turn?
It sure is. In fact, as you saw, the two cars in front of us just did that. You have to make sure that you enter the intersection lawfully. Then you're okay, once you're out there, to go ahead and complete your turn. That's true even if the light turns yellow for you while you're out in the middle of the intersection. In a situation like here at Plum and Shields, the critical and most important thing is if you're going to be out there and you get caught out there with the light changing on you to red eventually, you want to make sure that the outside lane of traffic and the inside lane of traffic are both slowing to a stop and are not going to essentially go through on the yellow and get in a wreck. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
So you are legal to come out here, prepare for your turn. You're out in the intersection. Now it looks like we're going to have an opportunity right here. We can go ahead and make our turn. And we've completed a legal turn, no problem.
And you help the flow of traffic move along.
It sure does. Well, and I've heard a rumor. And
Oh,
I've actually,
no.
yeah, and I've actually seen it done here in Fort Collins. I've seen people pull up here at Mountain House on a red light and suddenly make a left turn onto the one-way. Can they do that?
No, they can't, Jeff. That's illegal, and they'd be cited for it.
Why?
The only time you can make a left-hand turn on a red light is from a one-way onto another one-way.
And there isn't any place in Fort Collins where we have that, is there?
That's correct.
In Denver, it does exist, but not in Fort Collins. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Police Beat.
And for any further questions you'd like us to answer, you can send your questions to Police Beat in care of the Police Department, P.O. Box 580, Fort Collins, or call 221-6555.
And we'll get your answers to you on future segments of Police Beat coming up.
I've got to get back to my masterpiece.
Okay. Ann? Ann? What happened?
Oh, hey.
I didn't do anything!
You're sitting there.